It has been said to me on more than one occasion that Purge-it is the gold standard of archiving for JD Edwards. And for the 20% of our customers who have migrated from a generic archiving solution, they have reinforced that. Their comments of how easy Purge-it is to use, the integration of Purge-it within the JD Edwards system, the safety, security, and low-risk nature of the product compared to other solutions have all added to the perception that Purge-it is the best archiving solution for JD Edwards out there. And that's before we get to their comments about the excellent end-to-end experience that we provide for them. So let us have one slide on 10 unique aspects of Purge-it that all of our customers rave about. Purge-it is the only JD Edwards specific archiving solution. It's built entirely within the JD Edwards toolset and is designed by JD Edwards consultants with at least 20 years experience each, some up to 35 years JD Edwards experience. Because Purge-it is built within the JD Edwards toolset, it's a very familiar and easy JD Edwards interface to use. You don't have to learn a new interface before you learn how to archive. And then when you do learn how to archive, you're just using a JD Edwards system to run the archive applications. There are also no minimum technical requirements. So because Purge-it installs as an ASU into the JD Edwards system, you don't need any additional servers or hardware or software, and Purge-it can run on any tools release and on any applications release as well. So there's no minimum technical requirements or restrictions with Purge-it. Purge-it archives by document, and you can cancel at any time. When you archive by document, what you're doing is you're taking, for example, a header of a purchase order, and then all of the detail for that purchase order in the detail, the ledger, the receipts, prices adjustments, held orders, order addresses, and so on. And then you're moving all of those records for that one order across to the archive in one go. And because we do that, and then after we've done that order, we then process the next order, we can cancel the job at any time because there are breakpoints in the middle. But the data integrity of the live system and the archive system is fully maintained throughout the whole purging and archiving process. All of the actions for the purging and archiving process are carried out within the one job. There's no exclusions to that. There's no let's run a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Everything that needs to be done within the one job is done within the job. So select the data, validate it to make sure it is eligible for archiving. If it is, then you can delete the records from the live tables, insert the records into the archive tables, create or update summary records as you go along, and also update all of the document level audit information all in the one job, and the database level transactions are all within a database transaction to maintain data integrity as well, including summarization. So if you cancel the job at any point in time, everything is purged, archived, and summarized up to the point that you stop it. All of the purge and archive routines are UEBA processes. So it's the standard interface that you have for interacting with bulk JD Edwards data. It's also the recommended interface by Oracle JD Edwards as well. They only recommend that you interact with the JD Edwards database via the standard JD Edwards middleware and the standard JD Edwards APIs. Therefore, the UEBA for processing bulk data is the only way to go. In the background, though, ever since Purge-it was built, first off back in 2005, we've been using CMaster business functions to carry out the core purging and archiving functionality for speed and efficiency. I've mentioned auditing. When we actually run the purge and archive routines, we validate the documents before we archive them. So we check for statuses, open amounts, posted codes, relationships to other documents, and so on. There are over 200 validations that we perform within the Purge-it product. whether if a transaction has been validated, we know whether it is successfully validated and then will be archived, or if it's failed the validation, we know the reasons why it's failed, which ones of those validations have failed, and also the number of times they failed as well. And in the glossary of the data dictionary item error message, it will also give you the cause and the resolution, i.e. the fixes for those particular errors as well. Unique to Purge-it, again, just like all of the other points here, there is a choice of access to that archive data. Do you want to have a separate archive environment, or do you want to access the archive data from within the production environment? And you can even do that while still keeping the archive data in standard JD Edwards table names as well. So FO911 in prod gets archived to FO911 in the archive, but you can still access that archive data from within the production environment if you want to. Because we're JD Edwards consultants and experts through and through, each with a minimum of 20 years hands-on JD Edwards experience, all of our software is developed in accordance with the Oracle JD Edwards development standards. And it's the only one that is, because Purge-it is the only one that's built within the JD Edwards toolset. Again, another benefit of being built within the toolset, standard JD Edwards system administration applies as well. So if you need to create a Purge-it table, you use OMW. If you need to map that table to a new location, you use OCMs. If you need to create a new location for the archive, it's a database data source. If you need to deploy the software, it's a package build and deploy. It's the standard JD Edwards system administration, so you don't have to learn anything new before you learn how to administer it. Also, if you want to secure the applications, standard JD Edwards security applies. And if you want to put them on menus, we ship tasks. Those tasks can be rearranged onto your own menus as well. And lastly, but not least, we have management dashboards within the JD Edwards system, built as JD Edwards Power Forms using more graph controls than JD Edwards themselves use within the JD Edwards application. And we have multiple dashboards as well. So as well as ones for specific jobs that are running, and a big picture looking at the environments as well. If you signed up to our archiving as a service option, then there's a dashboard so that you can monitor the status of the service that we're providing to you. And also, if you're archiving custom tables in the next release of Purge-it, we've got a new dashboard to help you manage the processing of those custom tables as well. So there are 10 unique aspects of Purge-it. I hope that was useful, and if you'd like to find out more on Purge-it and archiving your JD Edwards system, get in touch now.